Good morning everyone and welcome back to Mimsy Park. Today we're going to a couple different places. We're going to go check out a consignment shop down in Manitou Springs, which is about a half hour away from here. And then after that we're going to go check out a place called the Teresa mine in Victor. That is down near the Cripple Creek area. It's an old ghost town and it's the site of a gold mine back from like the 1800s that lasted all the way up until the 60s, and apparently it changed hands through a bunch of different mining companies. So we're gonna go check both those places out. But before we go do that, I need to get my coffee, I need to get my breakfast. We're gonna go do that right now. Finally got some breakfast, got some coffee, feeling much better, much more awake. We are going to be heading out to Victor, or the Teresa mine first, because I did a little bit more research while I was eating breakfast, and turns out the consignment shop is more of a comics and collectibles shop, which explains the opening time of 1 in the afternoon. So instead, we're gonna make our way down to the mine, go see the area around the mine, check out some cool stuff down there, and then after that, we're gonna head over to that collectible shop, see if we can find some VHS tapes, and heck, who knows what else we'll find there, because it's a collectible shop in a small town, and they always have cool little treasures that you can find in places like that. But without any further ado, let's get down to Victor. Here we go. I must have come down this highway here dozens and dozens and dozens of times. Never once stopped to actually look at anything around here or anything. And as I was catching the B-roll, I noticed this river right here. Alright, well, bad news. Got to find out how waterproof my phone is. As I was shooting the B-roll, ended up slipping on some gravel on the bank, and me and my phone both went down into the creek. Other bad news is that now my tripod is broken. So we're gonna go in here to Walmart to try and find a new tripod. Did set me back about a half hour or so, but this is why we get an early start, right? We're gonna go in here, see if we can find a new tripod for the phone, and probably some dry shoes and socks. You get a nice little scrape right there. I can feel some stuff up on this knee up here. Yeah, some stuff right there on my knees. Couple nice little scrapes and everything, but you know, like I've said before, what's adventure without a little adversity? Let's go in here to Walmart, see if we can find a new tripod. If not, we'll have to just kind of improv for now, because I'm not gonna go around running around doing a bunch of shopping and stuff. All right, well, looks like I was in luck. They had one tripod left, and luckily the top here, it just kind of snapped off right there, so I was able to just unscrew that off of the part that holds the phone and attach it to the tripod, so that ended up actually working out. And it was like 18 bucks for the new bottom half of the tripod. It is a lot cheaper than the other one that I have. Like, it feels cheaper, it's stiffer in parts it shouldn't be stiff, it's looser in parts it shouldn't be loose, but it will do for now until I can get another Joby one. This is just Walmart's off-brand ons. Luckily though, I did not have to go far, didn't have to go shopping or anything, and this is the last one they had. With that said, we're going to try this again. We're gonna head to Victor, we're gonna go check out the Teresa mine, and then we're gonna head over to the collectible shop and see if we can find some VHS tapes over there. Before we do that, I'm going to change my socks, and I'm going to change into some boots, because obviously that is going to be necessary, because I would like to avoid dealing with wet shoes and socks again. So with that said, here we go. Stop for gas. I've been watching these crows just go through everything on the top of this dumpster. I mean, they've got the right idea. I'm sure that's where all the food goes. But they're just oh, that's really funny. Anyway, on to Victor. Okay, so as we're getting close to Victor, I'm already noticing signs of the mining at these hills up here. Really cool, different colors, different shades of rocks and stuff up there from the mining. And then we have here, as we were getting ready to go around this big turn over there, you're now entering an active mining district. Obey no trespassing signs and use caution in this area. And that's the Cripple Creek and Victor Gold Mining Company. Still gold mining going on in this area apparently, which I was not aware of. I did not see anything about that online when I was doing research for the area. So we're gonna make our way back up to the car and get going further down the road here. It is getting a lot colder, getting a lot windier, so we are getting higher in altitude. Anyway, on to Victor. Okay, so we have made it to Victor, world's greatest gold camp. And almost immediately, there are old buildings from what I would assume is the old mining camp, just everywhere. I can see some down there in the distance as well. I'm sure we'll find a lot more as we get further down there. But I did want to stop because I found basically this whole map laying out Victor, starting from Gillett, which is, it's on here somewhere. So there doesn't seem to be much of a rhyme or reason to any of this. I'm not sure how these are numbered in conjunction to this, just because it's like you have number 2 right here, but then you have 4 right here, and you have like number 3 right here, which no rhyme or reason to that whatsoever. I think what we're gonna do is, since this doesn't have any information here, doesn't really give me a good explanation of what's going on, I think we'll just go ahead and head on into the town and see what we can find. So here we go. And there is the Teresa mine. But first, we have a lot of information up here. A couple signs here that we're gonna check out. And then there's a old house up there with a trail going up to it. So I think that may be our first destination, and then we'll head up the mine. I want to see what that is because it looks like it's accessible. Let's go over here. This is talking about the trails of gold. The Lower Vindicator Valley Trail has been made available through the courtesy and efforts of the Cripple Creek and Victor Gold Mining Company. It goes over trail etiquette here. Well, let's be honest. If you don't know not to destroy stuff, maybe you shouldn't be out here. I don't know what that is, but we're gonna go check that out, and then we're gonna go check that out. All right, we're coming up on this house up here. It looks like a little structure over there, and one back over the hill right there. All right, so we have some smaller structures here. I'm not really sure what those would have been. It's kind of hard to tell, considering how overgrown and old they are. It's almost impossible to tell what this might have been. Honestly, surprised even the walls are standing at this point. Some over here, that looks like it may have been, maybe there was some kind of desk or something. I'm not sure. You can see from here how much this is leaning. That thing is just, I feel like it's just one big gust of wind away from falling down. This over here, however, was most definitely a house. I'm not sure what that would have been. Maybe a guest house or something of some kind. The electrical nodes up there, I believe. I'm no electrician. This porch came in a long time ago. Looks like pixel art before pixel art was a thing. Very, very tiny little homestead. I know people were smaller back then, but this had to be small even by their standards. And then I would imagine there was a heating stove or something right there. And then what I'm sure was covered at one point. Can't imagine that was always open top. Much brighter out here. Whew. That's a safe place to get down here from here. Ugh. That's really awesome though. So now what we were going to do is make our way up and around here to that structure right there. So let's go see what that is. This looks like that's just mud. Just mud and rocks. Not even bricks. Some kind of storage, I would imagine. I would think. Kind of old shed type of thing. Very small, doesn't go back too far or anything like that. You know, up here, check out this, whatever the thing that is. Some remnants of an old house right there. And there's a parking lot, which means there was a place for me to avoid all of the hiking I just did, which is fun. Some old mining equipment here that I believe would have been used for pulling the carts, I would imagine, with all the wire and everything here. This is where we just came. This is actually the whole trail we just came on. I know that we said we weren't going to do that, but it actually turned out not to be that bad of a hike. And there ended up being some stuff at the end of it, so let's see what's up here. Apparently, according to that, we're near a place called the Vindicator Mine. So I'm going to see what that entails. So there's not a sign here saying what this was, other than a house. But it looks pretty large. A little crawl space down there that we will not be going into. Very large. This looks like it was a lodge of some kind. Fireplace down there. This was a large house by old time standards, I would imagine. Yeah, see, it stretches way back there. Over there, you got hallways, all sorts of stuff over here. I saw something written on the wall about the area was an area for the girls, whatever that means, but it does indicate that it was a home of some kind. See, we have here another area of the house. Closet space here. I feel like square footage wise, it's a big house even for today's standards, let alone back then. I would imagine this is a shed of some kind. Kind of get a better look at the whole thing here. But we're gonna come over here, some buildings down over here that we're gonna go check out. And this is all connected via a trail system that they've got going on here. So we're just gonna kind of make our way around that over here and check this out. Looks like it was a business, maybe store or factory or some kind. There's no signs really laid out mentioning the specifics of the buildings. This jacket is making me very warm right now. So at the foundation of this over here though, which must have been something to do with the processing. From what I understand, is the actual mining area. I don't know where the actual mine entrance would be, but I would imagine this is something like a refinery for processing, something to do with the processing. Another old house up here with what looks like an outhouse right up there. If I'm not mistaken, that is actual mining going on up there. As mentioned before, this is still an active mining area. I believe I read something about them trying to do maintaining it so it doesn't all just come falling down like a lot of this stuff has a tendency to. Well, it's not an outhouse because there's no hole in the ground. Crawl space in there with everything boarded up. Bathroom, I would imagine, used to be, it looks like. I imagine the toilet was right over there. I'm sure someone was probably living down there, right? This had to be some kind of a living area, I would imagine. Look at the bathroom here. Kind of spacious. I would imagine there was a decent amount of money flowing through the town, especially when the gold was like flowing and everything like that. I'm shocked at how sturdy this feels. This would be so creepy at night. Bit of an Amityville horror feel to it. Also creepy. Huh. Yeah, very creepy. All right, very cool. Let's move on, see what else we can find. I don't think we're getting over here. A lot of stuff down there I would like to check out, but I don't know how I would get down there without probably getting into a lot of trouble. This very ominous building was apparently the ore house. The Cripple Creek diatreme is composed of many brecciated rocks. I don't know what that sentence means. I'm sure that makes sense to someone. It does not make sense to me. Shame we can't go in there. See equipment up there? I really want to get in there. But we will behave. All right, so we saw that up there earlier. I didn't know what it was. It's the Grace Greenwood mine. The development of the mine began in the early 1900s. It says the mine was open until 1959. This is the original location here, and then it was moved to its new home, which is right there. We're gonna make our way down here because this trail actually wraps around and goes down here right past some other buildings down here. I know I came out here looking for the Teresa mine, which was the biggest and as far as I know the most profitable, but I didn't know all of this stuff was here. So we're gonna check all this stuff out. Some of the old wire that they used to pull the carts. And I was reading how that wire was actually used not only to pull out the ore, but the people that were down in the mines as well. You find a sign here talking about the reclamation of the land and everything out here. It talks about how these evergreens were apparently all done by hand following the removal for heap leaching of the historic dump rock discarded by the Vindicator mine. And basically what I was reading before was that heap leaching is kind of the modern way of getting ore out of what used to be basically debris, stuff they couldn't use. And basically everything that was here that was debris that they kind of discarded, they ended up reusing like decades later. Get a good look in here. You know what? This is probably the facility that they were doing the heap leaching in. I don't know the exact process of heap leaching or anything like that because I just learned about it. However, I would imagine with how steep of an incline this is at, this is probably where it came out and they probably sent it through down over there. See if we can see the area where they would send it through at. There's kind of another angle of the ore house up there that looks like it's coming apart. I cannot believe that thing is still standing. Okay, so we're on the other side of this, and it looks like what they were doing, because this is all bolted off down here, so it looks like what was happening was it was being loaded in this area, fed into the belt down there, pulled up there, processed somehow, and then sent out the other end. Looks like the collection area caved in a long, long time ago. Well, we're gonna make our way down over here and see what's over here. Well, I don't see a way of getting as close to this one as we did the other one. I can get a good look at it though. I don't know if I want to get much closer, to be honest with you. That thing is, like most of these buildings, looks like it's about to come down. See, here we have a chute where more of the material was coming out. I don't know if that would have been for debris or if that would have been the final product. I feel like I'm at Thunder Mountain in Disneyland, these old buildings and everything. So coming down the trail further, I found a sign that actually explains this whole thing right here. So apparently both of these buildings were one mine called the Last Dollar Mine. The Last Dollar Mine was located above you where the mine haul road now allows trucks to transport rock from one area of the mine to another. So right up there where I've been seeing trucks and everything go by, that's actually where that was located at. This whole thing right here. You can see right here, it was actually all connected. And then we have miners going to work in the Last Dollar Mine here. That was the mine. This is actually just the structure. I don't know how they transported these dilapidated buildings from up there, but that's amazing that they could do something like that. So here we have the Dunham Mine, which was one of the smaller mines according to this. This is supposed to be a layout of this right here, but for the life of me, I can't pinpoint where this stuff is on there, so we're just gonna move on. Right there, we have the Longfellow Gold Mine. I wish we could get closer. I'm sure there's good reason why we can't. The sun is starting to come out, which is nice because it was quite chilly. So I did find this to be fairly interesting. Making my way back to the car, noticed the trail split off right there. Came out here and found this sign explaining how mining has always been associated with explosives, but archaeological surveys have shown that rock was broken in the late 1500s by burning wood stacked against the rock face. And then water may have been thrown on the heated rock, causing it to break. Which, when you think about that being back in the 1500s, that's crazy that they thought of that. We've got another old structure down here. Looks like this is somehow connected to the ore house right there. I did not check everything out over there just because of all the walking and everything. And I want to make sure we got enough daylight to check out the Teresa mine. So we're going down there right now. We are making our way down this hill. However, we are getting there. All right, well, we are going over to the Teresa mine. I want to stop at the car first, get some water, and take a breather first before we keep going. It should be mentioned that A, we're not in Victor, we are right next to Victor in a town called Goldfield. Go figure. Second of all, the other reason why we're taking a break is because I have worn my hiking boots and thermal socks, so I'm gonna let my very, very gross, very, very sweaty feet air out for a minute, and then we're gonna head over to the Teresa mine. All right, here we go to the Teresa mine. It is starting to get a little overcast here. That's okay. Hopefully it won't rain at all. If it does, hopefully it'll be super light. Yeah, that does not look friendly. All right, so here's the first structure we come to. No indication of what it might have been. As the sun's going down, I'm starting to understand why there's snow up here, because it is getting chillier and chillier. So we have a little history of the mine here. Production records indicate that the mine produced over $2.5 million in gold. Additional exploration carried out in 1961 failed to give promising results, and coupled with the closing of the Carlton Mill, led to the final closure of the mine. Those Christmas lights up there? Who strung those? Anyway, come down over here. Get a look in here. Oh, wow. Okay. If anybody knows what that thing is, because I don't see a sign indicating what it was, but if anybody knows, I would love to know what that thing is. Wow. Oh, okay. It was for the hoist, for the minerals and the people, I assume. Ooh, creepy. So these are the controls that operated that. That's awesome. I have a feeling we're not going to be getting in there, so take a look anyway. So we have the hoist here that would have taken everybody down. I imagine that's what that is, although it seems awful small to me. I don't think they have people in it though. That is definitely for hauling something out of the ground. And it just goes all the way up. Do not see a means of entrance, which is probably for everyone's benefit, but just a heads up to anybody that comes out here trying to get in, you're probably gonna be hard pressed to get in there. Really cool piece of history though. Even the spots that do look like you can get in them look like they're all sealed up or welded shut. Down here a little bit further, still very close to the Teresa mine, but a little bit further down, found this map and description here. Turns out that building in the distance right there, that little complex, is the processing facility, the one that's actually in use today. Really cool that the processing facility they have today is so close to this over here, all this stuff that we saw earlier. Because apparently this trail here goes right down into the area that we were in earlier. It's just on a different side. We're gonna head back to the car now and drive around, see if we can find a little bit more stuff to take a look at. Here we go. Second I pulled up to the spot, that trucker started going away. The second I pulled up, he started leaving. Anyway, I found a really cool spot on my way out of there. A little sign right there and an overlook right there. So we're gonna go to the top and see if we can see down, because from up here, it goes way, way down, and I wanna see how far down that goes. So here we go. So first we do have a sign here explaining the whole process, and this is more of a modern day process though. Begin with an analysis, and the engineers develop a mine and reclamation plan for approval by government regulators. Mining begins with drilling holes 40 feet deep, spaced 16 to 20 feet apart. And then they go in, they do the blasting and everything. Blasts are controlled to limit ground vibrations. Environmental professionals monitor vibrations to ensure they are within the limits of operating permits. And this is the mining area right now, the current day one. Wow, it is so big. I think that right down there, I don't know if you can see that vehicle, but I believe that's the drill that they use to put the blast down into the ground for the controlled blasting. I can't even see how far down it goes. Never actually seen one this up high and really this close. Wow. If you can see the vehicle down there, you think about how little that looks, you think about how far down that is. That's just crazy. Anyway. All right, well, did some driving around, saw a little bit more of the area. What I would really like to do with the remaining time is make my way back towards Colorado Springs and into Manitou to go see if we can find anything cool at this comic book store. So made it to Manitou, and there are a lot of people walking around, and this town, from what I can tell, is going all out for Halloween. There are decorations everywhere up and down the main strip, but we're gonna make our way over to this comic shop, which is just right down there and around the corner. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen anything like that in the Springs yet. CK Comics, going here. Okay, well, I spent all of about 30 seconds in there. That was about all it took. There were a few comics, a few random things laying about. There's a little steampunk section and everything like that, but the VHS tapes were like all of maybe 15 of them, and I own every Disney VHS tape he had in there, so a little bit of a bummer, but I'm really glad I saved that till the end because that was that fizzled out real quick. Okay, well, made it back to the car. My body is telling me it is time to call it there. Did a lot of hiking up at the ghost town. All around, I think I'm ready for food and to relax. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it there. Thank you guys for checking out these videos. If you're liking them, go ahead and throw me a like. If you're really liking them, go ahead and throw me a subscription, and I'll see you guys next time.